After months of speculation, leaked renders and insider reports have given us a clear picture of what to expect. And let's just say, it's not looking good. The SE lineup was once a fan favorite, delivering flagship power in a compact and affordable package. But with the iPhone SE4, Apple seems to have taken a different approach, one that might disappoint longtime SE enthusiasts. One of the most striking changes with the iPhone SE4 is its departure from the traditional design that made previous SE models so appealing. The SE line has always been a nostalgic nod to the past, combining the classic iPhone aesthetic with the latest internals. The first-generation SE borrowed the iconic iPhone 5S design, while the second and third generations were essentially repackaged iPhone 8 models with more powerful processors. The SE4, however, is rumored to be moving away from that nostalgic charm entirely, adopting the iPhone 14's design language. That means no more chunky bezels, no more Touch ID, and no more Home button. Instead, Apple appears to be embracing Face ID, a full-screen OLED display, and the modern notch design seen in flagship models. This shift is significant for a number of reasons. For one, it represents the end of an era for those who preferred a more compact, button-centric iPhone experience. Touch ID, in particular, has been a staple of the SE lineup and is favored by many users who find Face ID less convenient or simply prefer the tactile nature of a fingerprint sensor. The removal of Touch ID might seem like a logical progression for Apple, but for the SE's core audience, many of whom clung to the model specifically because it retained older design elements, this move could be frustrating. The shift to Face ID isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it does raise concerns about whether Apple is listening to its budget-conscious consumer base or simply pushing them toward a more uniform iPhone experience. Another major talking point is the display technology. For years, SE models have used LCD panels, which, while not as vibrant as OLED, still offered great color accuracy and longevity. With the iPhone SE4, Apple is rumored to be switching to OLED, bringing richer blacks and more vivid colors to its budget model. On paper, this is an upgrade. OLED displays are more power efficient and provide better contrast ratios. However, this change could mean an increase in price. One of the reasons the SE series has remained attractive is its affordability. If Apple is truly transitioning the SE4 to an OLED display, it begs the question, how much more expensive will it be? Will it still be a budget-friendly iPhone, or is Apple subtly pushing users toward pricier options? Then there's the camera. The iPhone SE4 is rumored to feature a 48-megapixel main sensor, a massive leap from its predecessors. While this sounds impressive, it raises further concerns. Apple's SE models have typically kept camera hardware minimal, relying on software and computational photography to deliver great images without needing high-megapixel sensors. If the SE4 indeed receives a 48-megapixel upgrade, what does that mean for its price and battery life? Higher-resolution cameras require more processing power, leading to increased energy consumption. With the SE line historically featuring smaller batteries, will this new camera technology hinder battery life rather than improve it? In many ways, the iPhone SE4 seems to be a Frankenstein device, a hybrid between Apple's past and present. On one hand, it's shedding the outdated design philosophy that's kept the SE series in the past. On the other, it risks alienating loyal users who stuck with the SE because they appreciated its familiarity and affordability. Will these bold changes make it the best budget iPhone yet? Or is Apple straying too far from what made the SE special? The second part of this discussion will delve into how these changes might affect Apple's strategy and whether the SE4 is truly a win for consumers or a misstep in the making. Apple's history with the iPhone SE line has always been a roller coaster of expectations and reality. The original iPhone SE in 2016 was a dream come true for those who adored the compact form factor of the iPhone 5EE but craved the raw power of the iPhone 6s. It was a perfect balance: old design, modern internals, and most importantly, an unbeatable price. Fast forward to 2020, and Apple revived the SE name with a model that looked like an iPhone 8 but packed an A13 Bionic chip. The trend continued in 2022, with the third-generation SE adopting 5G but keeping the outdated design and single-camera system. Each time, Apple's choices frustrated and excited fans in equal measure. Now, as we head into 2025, the anticipation for the iPhone SE4 has been met with a mixture of excitement and dread. Apple is at a crossroads. With the iPhone 15 series setting new standards for design and performance, what place does the SE have in today's lineup? Rumors and leaks have painted a rather controversial picture of the upcoming device, and many longtime SE fans are already bracing for disappointment. One of the biggest letdowns about the iPhone SE4 is the expected price hike. When the first SE launched, it was a budget-friendly alternative that delivered flagship performance in a smaller package. Over the years, however, Apple has steadily increased the price of the SE models, making them less of a steal and more of a compromise. If leaks are to be believed, the 2025 SE model could see a significant jump in cost, putting it dangerously close to the standard iPhone lineup. This immediately raises an important question. Why buy an SE when you could just get a previous generation flagship at a discount? Another major issue that's causing concern is Apple's rumored decision to remove the Home button and move to an iPhone XR-style design. While this may sound like an upgrade at first, it also comes with some compromises. Touch ID has long been a favorite feature of SE users, and losing it in favor of Face ID isn't necessarily a win for everyone. The SE has always been a device for people who appreciate classic iPhone features, and forcing them to adapt to an all-screen design with Face ID might alienate a large portion of the target audience. Furthermore, the display technology itself could be a weak point. While the iPhone 15 series boasts stunning OLED panels, the SE4 is rumored to still use an LCD screen, something that feels incredibly outdated in 2025. Apple's insistence on cutting costs in certain areas while increasing the price elsewhere has always been a frustrating aspect of the SE line. The idea of a mid-range iPhone using an LCD display, when even budget Android phones have moved to OLED, could be a hard pill to swallow. Then, there's the battery life. If the SE4 is indeed based on the iPhone XR, it might finally see a battery improvement, but it won't be anything groundbreaking. The SE models have notoriously suffered from underwhelming battery performance, and with Apple's track record, it's hard to imagine them prioritizing battery life in a budget device. Perhaps the most frustrating part of the iPhone SE4 saga is Apple's approach to its camera system. SE models have always lagged behind the flagship lineup in terms of camera hardware, often relying on older sensors and weaker processing power despite using the same chip. While Apple's software enhancements can work wonders, there's only so much that can be done with outdated hardware. If rumors hold true, the iPhone SE4 will come with a single rear camera, much like its predecessors. In an era where even budget Android phones sport multiple lenses for ultra-wide, telephoto, or macro shots, sticking to a single camera feels like a step backward. Apple might argue that its computational photography compensates for the lack of extra lenses, but in reality, the absence of a versatile camera setup is a glaring omission. SE users are once again being forced to accept just good enough rather than a truly competitive experience. Another issue that potential buyers are concerned about is Apple's stance on ports. The European Union's decision to enforce USB-C on all smartphones means that the iPhone SE4 will likely adopt the new charging standard. While this is a welcome change for most users, it does raise some concerns. Apple has been known to differentiate its cheaper models by limiting features. Will they cripple the SE4's USB-C port by restricting data transfer speeds or fast charging capabilities? If so, it would be another example of Apple intentionally holding back its budget model to push users toward pricier options. Then there's the elephant in the room: software support. One of the main reasons people choose iPhones over Android devices is Apple's excellent long-term software support. Even the 2017 iPhone X received iOS 17, proving Apple's commitment to keeping older devices relevant. The SE models have historically benefited from this longevity, but with the iPhone SE4 likely using a mix of old and new hardware, will it still get the same level of support? If Apple views the SE as a budget device rather than a true member of the iPhone family, they might cut its update lifespan short. All these concerns paint a troubling picture. The iPhone SE4 should be an exciting release, offering flagship performance in a more affordable package. Instead, Apple seems poised to repeat the same mistakes: overpricing, underwhelming design choices, and feature limitations that feel intentional rather than necessary. It begs the question, who is this phone really for?